Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Z. I'm a clinical psychologist specializing in adult transgender care. Welcome to my channel. And if you have not had chance yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so. I would very much appreciate it if you do. And if you don't yet follow me on Instagram, link is below. I promise you it's so worth it to follow me on Instagram, especially right now, making such creative, fun, amazing, empowering content specifically for trans women. So, ladies, come on, let's be friends. Let's support each other. And let's all connect. So, go ahead to my Instagram and follow me. I would very much would love that. For today's video, I want to talk to you all. Number one, the number one consistent pattern that leads to so many of you to struggle and continue to experience imposter syndrome. Yep. And it doesn't matter if you are in the beginning of transition, mid transition, if you have gone through all of the elements of transition or whatever parts of transition you think are important to you. Imposter syndrome, if this one element is not resolved, tends to follow all of you. Like, apologies for stinky up analogy, but it's almost like somebody stepped on a skunk. That smell. You know how we all drive, and then suddenly we're smelling that smell because somebody drove over a skunk, and that punchy, yucky stink. But if you don't resolve what I'm going to share with all of you, that's how that funk is going to follow you. And it's going to follow you beyond gender transition. And I've seen it follow people who follow trans women who are have, if passing is important, to have zero problem passing, zero, and they still struggle and experience imposter syndrome. And you all know what I'm talking about. That feeling of imposter, that feeling of I don't belong, that feeling of I'm going to be found out, that feeling of I'm still faking it, that feeling of I feel like I'm trespassing territory, right? All of those feelings. I'm going to be clocked. All of those fears. They're going to find out, oh, I'm not a real woman. Ladies, what the heck is real anyway? Really? Seriously. What is it even supposed to mean? Or they're going to find out, but most importantly, this is what a lot of you are afraid of. They're going to find out I am a trans woman, right? That is the core. That is the bottom line from which imposter syndrome tends to grow and spiral like a virus in petri dish. It's somebody's going to know I have a transgender history. Somebody's going to find out I'm a woman of trans experience. And here's the paradox. Some of you watching it may be right now listening and saying, that is not true. That is not true. I actually accept that I'm trans woman. I even probably display that I'm trans woman on my social media, or I openly tell people I'm trans woman. So that is not true. And yet I still feel like an imposter. And I'm sorry, but I'm here to tell all of you who feel this way that it's one thing to cognitively, consciously, logically, in here, think that you are fine being transgender, that you have accepted, that you own it. I like to use the word own it, that you hold on to your trans womanhood, to your trans identity, to the truth, reality that you are a woman with a trans history. It's another thing to actually accept and feel it right here. And for a lot of people, it is right here that is the most difficult thing. And this right here, the lack of full heart-on acceptance of yourself as a woman that has transgender history, acceptance of yourself, of your trans womanhood, this full blown on holding space with open arms for all parts of your trans history, parts of you that you see are wonderful and beautiful and liberating, and parts of you that are decades of living in pain with dysphoria in a masculine body presentation, navigating your life in a world in a bodysuit that doesn't belong to you. Accept all of it. This lack of this full on internal heart on acceptance is a number one cause for imposter syndrome for everybody across the board. I see this now, I have seen this 1,000 times over that I am convinced this is the number one reason. And again, I know that a lot of you genuinely believe that you have accepted yourself completely because I've seen that too. But it's your ego, it's your mind that believes. Your heart doesn't hold on to that yet. And I know this is just me telling you this, may be very challenging to even hear because it feels almost like the split. But this is what causes imposter syndrome for so many trans women across the board. Sure, in the beginning, when somebody just starts their on their path of self-discovery, in the beginning, for a lot of you, what adds to the imposter mix is that you are actually early in. So you yourself don't yet hold on to your own ownership. You yourself don't yet strongly believe in yourself. That's natural. Very, very natural, very common in the beginning to have all those feelings of not belonging, all those feelings of not yet fully seeing and holding on to yourself as a woman. Very natural. But as you continue, right? As you continue, it's really important. It's really important for so many of you to start actually opening this up and really taking in and accepting all parts of yourself. That's what acceptance is. Acceptance is meeting yourselves where you're currently at and acknowledging all of it. Take it all in. Like I said, parts you see good, parts you see bad, and hold on to them. I see so many trans women who are, as they transition, as you transition, disregard or have a strong compulsion to disregard so many parts of their past. And that's opposite of accepting. That's you disavowing essential parts of what makes you your own unique trans woman. You are trans woman for a reason. You're not a cis woman. You're not just any woman. You are a trans woman. And the reason why you are a trans woman is because you have that history that is unique to you. And there's so much richness there. That's the thing. So many of you don't even see how this history, even history of living life with dysphoria, makes you so much more resilient. Even history of navigating and walking this life and path in the duality of gender experiences before you own your full authenticity. That's still your strength. But I see so many people are so eager to just disavow. I even work with so many trans women who say, there's so many things from my past that I still want to do, but it's too associated with masculinity, too associated with manliness. Says who? All of this interjecting and taking on of this world standards and ideals that are not yours, instead of helping you feel more liberated, makes so many of you feel more suffocated and creates this internal opposition between what your potential capabilities are actually are and the expectations you're setting out for yourself that you just cannot meet. And the tension between your natural potentiality and your unrealistic goals and standards, this tension is a space between that prevents you full on acceptance of yourself in your heart and what breeds that skunky, stinky feeling of imposter syndrome. That's why. I meet trans women again and again and again who come to me and to say, I have completed my transition based on my personal goals. I have no problem navigating the world. I have no problem, if they have standards or their own personal goals of passing. I have no problem of passing. I have no problem of living a life as a woman. Why yet? Why, Dr. Z, do I still feel such strong sense of imposter? And when we start digging deeper and we start doing the work a little bit deeper, what I find out is that they're not even aware, a lot of times, these women, they're so preoccupied with navigating life being stealth that they don't realize that the whole idea of being stealth revolves around disavowing your trans history. Navigating stealth means you're navigating the world, and a lot of women think I'm just navigating the world as a woman, but in reality, what they're trying to do, what a lot of you might be trying to do, is navigating the world as a cis woman, trying to chase cis passing. I see a lot of women I work with who, when they're in a company of women, and those women, one of those women in the group starts talking about how painful her period was last month, and a trans woman in a group who is stealth, meaning nobody knows she has a transgender history, takes on cisgender history of menstruation that she does not have, doesn't know what it feels like, and creates a narrative just so she can feel like she fits in. And the reason why this woman is doing it is because unconsciously, deep down, she hasn't fully accepted herself in her heart. She hasn't accepted that her trans womanhood is a trans womanhood experiences that does not entail menstruation, and that's okay. But she hasn't accepted it yet, and so she's trying very hard to pretend like she has this part of cisgender history. And that breeds anxiety, and that makes one unconsciously feel like, are they getting it? Am I being, do I come across as if it's legit? Are they clocking me? That's the skunky smell of imposter, because you're working that much harder to pretend to be something that you're not. And I see this, forget even this menstrual, I see this with other cisgender um, histories that some people just don't have. You're not meant to have cisgender history, ladies. That's okay. That is okay. Not having some part of cisgender history in no way invalidates the fact that you're women. And if anybody else tells you otherwise, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Take it from a cis woman myself who actually does has those bodily functions. I menstruate every month. Heck, I'm menstruating right now as I'm making this recording. I hate my periods. I don't resonate with my periods. In no way are they part of how I define my womanhood. So those bodily functions are not something that even those women who do have those bodily functions resonate with. You have your own set of experiences that I don't have, that I will never have, that make you unique. And you need to hold on and own it to that. And the longer you are going to keep your heart closed, because in your head you're saying, yeah, I'm fine being trans woman. I'm proud being trans woman. But in a heart, you're carrying shame, or you're carrying guilt, or you're carrying regret, or you're carrying bitterness for why things had to be the way they are. The longer you carry all of those things, the longer you're going to struggle with imposter syndrome. Because to eradicate imposter syndrome, it's not just about becoming confident. It's confidence that arises out of a place of ownership. That's what it is. It's not fake it till you make it. It's again accepting all of those parts of you, good or bad, all of them, and holding on to them. And that's very, very important for all of you to do this work, to step. It's not easy. I know it is so not easy. And I know that for a lot of you, as women with transgender history, you have, I would say, more things that you are pushing against than women with cisgender history, right? Not only are you pushing against the world standards that all of us women, under one umbrella women, no matter what our histories are pushing against, right? The whole world is telling us how to be. I mean, my God, the government is telling us how to, what we can do and cannot do with our bodies. But you're also on top of that, on top of being underneath big woman umbrella and pushing against those ideals. You also have superimposed on you what is, on top of that, the standards of a trans woman, right? I think the women who have I wouldn't say it easiest. I hate to measure privilege I think we're all privileged to lesser or greater extent. If I had to put in a word of who has it a little bit less burdensome, I would say white, cis women. And then I would say it's very difficult for anybody else. It's very difficult for trans women. It's very difficult for Black women. It's very difficult for Asian women. It's very difficult for just women with disabilities. But that also, like I always say, we all have cards we got dealt with, And we all have to accept and work around the reality of those cards. And so do you. The more we resist the parts of who we actually are, because we superimpose very harsh, very unrealistic, very high bar and insane standards of others around us. The more we struggle, the higher the imposter syndrome becomes. And this is work, sometimes it's fully accepting who we are, for some of you can happen relatively quickly. I tend to think that I'm one of those people that it's easier for me to accept things about myself that I like and dislike, all of it. I think part of it, having cancer when I was so young at 16 years old, when you confront death so young, you kind of realize that other things become more important. And some of you are like that too. Some of you are having a more flexible, less rigid time accepting yourself wholeheartedly. Some of you have a hell of a hard time with it. And there's lots of resistance. There's so much shame and guilt around it. Maybe so much other toxic stuff around it that needs to be detoxed and cleaned. And that can make it challenging, but not impossible. I've seen it, not impossible. But this is the number one thing that keeps people having and experiencing imposter syndrome. Not fully accepting yourself. And if you're again sitting here and you're saying, I fully accept myself, I challenge you to see if there's moments of life where you catch yourself pretending, being something that you're not. And pretending, I mean, here's the thing, we're all not always ourselves, right? We all put on persona, we all put on kind of appearance, right? Like, right now, I'm professional with all of you. After this, I'm going to remove makeup and put myself into sweats and just be slimy or whatever I want to do in the privacy of my home, right? We all put on um, and aspects of ourselves depending on situation. What I mean is catch yourself if you're faking parts of yourself that are actually your core parts. Parts of yourself that are actually your core parts. And if you are, well, perhaps you haven't really fully accepted yourself as you think you have. I really would love to hear in comment section um, where are you at with all of this. I know that so many of you struggle with this. I know that not only struggle with imposter, but struggle with this full heart unacceptance. What do you feel is blocking you from opening up completely to you? Is it yourself? Is it society? Is it something else? What do you feel is preventing you from embracing yourself completely? Those of you who feel like you have embraced yourself completely wholeheartedly, what perhaps helped you to do that? Or what was that helping element that enabled you to do that? Comment below. I'd love to hear all of your comments. Please give this video a thumbs up and comment below. And make sure you follow me on Instagram. Would love to connect with all of you. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.